HD2.
Well, quarterbacks in the college football transfer portal have always been a point of discussion. A lot on this show because Manuch trains a lot of quarterbacks, as well as our next guest, Rudy Carpenter. But big news is always when a guy transfers and how he can change the entire program just by, being that top guy leaving another school. And we heard one today as quarterback Sam Leavitt. He is from Michigan State. He is transferred to Arizona State. He didn't play a lot last year. That's why he was a true freshman. He played a couple fourth quarter losses against Michigan and Minnesota, a couple drives against Nebraska, one against Maryland. That's really it. Didn't put up a lot. We don't know a lot about him other than he was a 4-star recruit out of Oregon. Rudy Carpenter joins us now. Talk about some of these guys. First, your thoughts on Sam committing to Arizona State. You know the quarterback world pretty well. Is he somebody that can give Rashada a run for his money?
Yeah, I think probably the most important thing about Sam Leavitt is that Kenny Dillingham is very comfortable with Sam. When Kenny was coaching at the University of Oregon for the season that he was there, he spent a lot of time recruiting Sam. So, I think, obviously Sam Leavitt and his family feel really comfortable with Kenny. Kenny knows the kid well. He's seen him play a lot. And I think, that relationship makes sense. I also know from talking to Kenny a ton, Kenny is very, very serious about the fact that he really likes Jalen Rashada. He thinks Jalen Rashada can be, a big time quarterback, but Kenny's, always going to, make it an open competition and play whatever guy he thinks is going to give the team the best chance to win. And if you're a guy like Sam Leavitt, that's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, I was mentioning that a little bit earlier. A lot of these guys, money aside, they want to go where they have a chance to compete, number one. And number two, that it's a program that's got a good chance of winning as well. And I think that in Tyler Suggs' case, going to Louisville, that was the main part of his decision as far as going there. The other side of it, too, is when you look at some of these Heisman Trophy winners, we talked about Jaden Daniels coming from ASU to LSU, Kyler Murray, Texas A&M to Oklahoma, Jalen Hurts, Bama to Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield, Texas Tech, Oklahoma. The benefactor of has paid off. So I got to imagine before they move on, they're thoroughly doing their due diligence for that returning team as well, I would think.
Yeah, I just think that, there's always been a negative, connotation on guys that transfer, like, oh, he's soft or he's a quitter or he doesn't like competition or all that stuff. To me, I've always thought that was, pretty ridiculous. And the reason why I think that is because quarterback is a unique position. Only one guy plays. And, I was involved in a situation myself where, the program might have two guys. They might have three guys that are legitimate Division I starters. And it's hard, to tell a kid, hey, be a good soldier, sit on the bench and wait your turn. And look, I guess there are a lot of people out there who think that that's what you should do. You should be a good soldier. You should wait your turn. That's how it was in the olden days, et cetera, et cetera. I'm a little bit different than that. I'm the type of dude that just feels like, man, there's not a lot of opportunity out there. There's just not. You never know when your time is going to be. And in my opinion, when it comes to the money situation and it comes to playing time situation, no one's going to fight for you better than you. No one's going to believe more than you. No one's going to, have a better feel for what you can do on the field as a player than you. And to me, I just feel like, hey man, the window of opportunity to play and to compete and to be a starter, there's an expiration date on it for everybody. And I just think that you got to go advocate for yourself and take advantage of as many opportunities as you can to play a game that we spend so much time on. One more thing. I mean, Dan, you see a lot of guys out there training. These guys train and train and train and train, and they train and they work so much and so hard for basically 13 days of playing a game. So to me, it's limited game time opportunities compared to how much you practice and train. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to let any of those pass me by. I'm going to get on the field as fast as I possibly can. And if you're the kind of person that's going to call me selfish, well, whatever. I'm going to go be a selfish starting rich quarterback.
Last week we talked a lot about what Matt Rule was talking about, $1 million to $2 million that these guys are getting. What is the number? What are the numbers, the ranges that you are hearing that these quarterbacks are commanding?
Well, I think what Matt Rule said was exactly right. For a big-time program like Ohio State or Notre Dame or, a USC or some of these big-time programs, you're going to see guys that are going to get $2 million, $2.5 million, whatever it may be, somewhere in that range. I mean, you see reports that, Marvin Harrison Jr. was offered somewhere in the realm of $20 million in total when you add up all of his NIL deals. I mean, I'll give you an example. There's a local quarterback here from Arizona that you guys all know, probably pretty well, who played at NC State, then transferred to Cal and is transferring again. And he literally just got off the phone with me 10 minutes ago saying he was just offered $300,000 to go to, probably the worst SEC school. But it was still $300,000. And this is a kid that has probably only started less than 10 games in his entire career.
Rudy, you made a great point about you have to look out for yourself. So I want to go to Jalen Daniels then. And you saw him play at Arizona State. He leaves. The fans trash him, all of that. So all he does is go to LSU and then this past season win the Heisman Trophy. Exponentially, what did you see in Daniels, how much improvement he made after he left ASU?
Well, I think naturally he made a lot of improvement, right? I mean, I think Jaden's an interesting situation. Did he become a better thrower? I don't think so. Did he become a better runner? I don't think so. And this is the conundrum to me. I think Jaden Daniels has always been a very, 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 very talented player. What he got at LSU is a whole bunch of big-time players around him. I mean, quarterback is the most dependent position in all of sports. You have the ball in your hand every single snap. There's this weird element to playing quarterback where it's almost like an individual game because you have so much attention on you all the time. But then there's the other side of it where you're so dependent on guys blocking, guys catching the football, the run game being able to get going, the defense being able to do X, Y, and Z. And, Jaden was a huge benefactor of already being supremely, supremely talented, but then being able to go play in the SEC with a lot of other great players. And then because he's in the SEC, he's put in a lot of big-time environments, in a lot of big-time moments, in a lot of big-time nationally televised games, which allows him to explode onto the market for the masses of people to be able to see him. Jaden Daniels, his situation is the reason why so many kids from California, so many kids from Arizona fly over all of those states and go play in the SEC. And that's because that's a place where you're going to get the absolute most exposure to be able to show the country, the Heisman voters, and everybody else who you are as a player. And to me, that's what's so sad. Go look at the number of great players in the SEC, the number of Heisman Trophy winners or whatever it may be, and go see so many of these guys come from the West Coast. And yet, the Pac-12 conference isn't even a conference anymore.
Rudy, we always love having you on, man. Thanks for the time today. Have a great week.
All right, guys. Take care.
Rudy Carpenter, breaking it down. How about that? $300,000. Wow. Hey, he is brought to you by All City Towing. If you're looking for a new career, you're going to turn the calendar over into 2024 with a new job, then go to allcitytowing.com and search careers. That's allcitytowing.com. Well, getting dumped, Did you get dumped? Well, today's the top day of the year for breakups. Tell you all about that next. But first, football at 50.